are reports that they are not close to an extension.
Why would they?
Between Aiyuk and the 49ers. He's in the last year of his deal. Is there a chance that he does not report when it comes time for him to?
That's a really good question.
welcome.
Look, I still think, you're in your 20s, you play football. Plus, he's in a weird spot where they always have the ability to franchise him next year should they choose to. My gut, and I don't know Brandon personally, but having seen a lot of his interviews, you get a sense of who a guy is personality-wise. I'd be surprised if this kid doesn't show up for all the mandatory stuff. Now, if you tell me he blows off a mini camp that veterans don't have to be at, I don't consider that not showing up. I think he's there for the entire way through. And to me, I'm not surprised that they haven't gotten a deal done yet. They finished free agency essentially, right? You've got the draft coming up in 2.5 weeks now, and you got the whole summer. So to me, there's no pressure on, oh my God, we got to get Aiyuk signed to a longer deal. He's your property from a standpoint of him playing for you. You've got him over a barrel with the ability to franchise him if you choose to do that. And he's under contract. So my gut would be, at some point after the draft, John Lynch and Jed York, the owner, sits down with Brandon and his representatives to get an idea of what the framework of a deal will look like. So my predictive skills will tell me that Brandon Aiyuk and the Niners come to terms on a multi-year extension after the draft. And I think that's good by everybody.
Yeah, they can't pay him, though, Craig. They're locked up. And I understand it's
They can't pay him. I don't buy that. I never buy that with the cap.
I'm telling you, they can't pay him. They just don't. The core of this team is already locked up to 2026. And overall, and I understand his frustration. Back-to-back years, he's been the leading receiver on that team, right? And so I understand why he feels like he wants to be paid now, especially with the threat of being franchise tagged. So I understand all that. But at the end of the day, the way the market is set up, he's going to want 26 to 28 million.
And by the way, whatever the market is for top flight wide receivers, he's going to deserve it. So this isn't even a question about his ability and what he should get paid. As you take a look at the top 6 wide receivers now, that's per year. That's not guaranteed, but it gives you a sense of where we are. The other part of that, if you look at the top guys on that list, they're all 30. Brandon Aiyuk isn't 30 yet. So Brandon Aiyuk, to me, is more in the A.J. Brown category. A.J. Brown's what? Fair. 26, 27 years old? So that's the apples-to-apples comparison. A.J. Brown's getting $25 million per. So he's getting $14 million this year on the final year of the deal. I'm telling you again, we talk about the cap like it's an issue. And the reality is that there are so many creative ways to maneuver around the cap for teams that are flush financially, who don't mind writing big checks now, signing bonuses, things like that, to get everybody signed. Number 2, let's not forget, out of the blue, the salary cap this year went up $25 million. But you don't think it's going to go up again next year?
Isn't there a part of you, if you are the 49ers, you say, Brock Purdy's going to need to get paid? And they've already said that he's going to ask for more money than everybody else out there. And with that coming down the road, I don't know if you want to lock up Aiyuk into a multi-year deal where you're getting $25, $26 million a year when you have Brock Purdy's paycheck coming down.
Well, the reality, though, is every team that's got Super Bowl aspirations, that has a rock star quarterback that is now making the $30, $40, $50 million a year, every single one of those teams has had the ability to sign other star players to play with them. You can go across the ball, from the Bills with Diggs and Allen to the Bengals with Burrow and Chase. And I'm not going to name every team. You know who they are. And I know you have Debo there. I'm not suggesting Debo's not that guy. You also have McCaffrey's contract winding down, and that's a restructurable contract. So
a lot of money, Craig.
I think we as broadcasters sometimes talk too much about the cap like it's a hindrance to signing talent, when the reality is that it's not.
Yes, it is. You're talking about they have the third. As far as cap space, a lot of money. I'm trying to say. They're third in the NFL. They're tied up. They can't make any moves. Look at Debo's making 28.
All they do is call McCaffrey up and redo the deal. Call Kittle up, redo the deal. That's the point. You're either a progressive and aggressive front office. Some teams are, some teams aren't, just by their nature. But Aiyuk getting signed or not will have nothing at all to do with where they are against the cap. I'm telling you.
Well, there is second-hand football, and a team that was not aggressive this offseason.
Who's that?
Is the Dallas Cowboys. There are reports that they might sign Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, my God. I heard Tony Dorsett's coming back too.
Is it a good idea for the Cowboys to add Elliott to the backfield?
No, it's not a good idea. And as much as, he had a good little run with the Dallas Cowboys that never really, became a Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
And he's not Emmitt Smith and he's not Tony Dorsett in the lore of Cowboy running backs, right? The reality is that this is a desperate move. He's got no place to go. A little Louis Gossett Jr. reference there with Richard Gere. May he rest in peace. I got nowhere to go, Captain Mayo. In any event, they don't have depth though running back wise. So this would be one of those, kind of embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing, it's nostalgia,
Come on,
Craig.
like the next
Snoop
time.
Connor?
His best friend is Dak.
Who is Snoop Connor?
Great question.
Who is Snoop Connor?
Great question. That's what he meant by being all in. We brought Snoop in.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah, Snoop.
I've
No,
never
not
Snoop
Snoop.
from The Wire?
Yeah.
Look, this is going to be a you got to relax. The studio audience on a Monday. It's crazy. Look, this is Ezekiel Elliott's best days are long behind him.
Fair.
And I get the nostalgia part of it. But unless you're bringing Drew Pearson back also, I just don't
When
understand
he would catch
this
a
move.
pass last year, I was like, oh, that's cute. Look at him got a pass.
Yeah, and I know, the last couple weeks for New England, he looked like shades of it. No, he's not. He's done.
No, he did not.
It's a wrap. It is a wrap. That being said,
They're going to sign him.
let's hope it happens.
It's gonna happen.
Because the more Dallas can embarrass themselves this offseason, the better for the New York Jets. Because the focus ain't on us.
Craig, it may be all over anyway. Sign him. What do you got to lose?
Why not? Why not?
You might as well.
What's holding you back?
Why not? Moving on to Thursday football, we have some interesting news about the Cleveland Browns and their quarterback DeShaun Watson. He has an update on his shoulder rehab, and here is what the quarterback for the Browns had to say. And I quote, "We're in a great spot, right where we need to be. We have plenty of time to ramp up the throwing sessions and things like that, but everything is going pretty smooth." Yeah, right. Do you think that Watson, a healthy Watson, and the Browns can challenge the Ravens in the AFC North?
I'm done with DeShaun Watson until he proves otherwise. Like,
Really?
we keep talking about how.
Mr. 4-1 last year.
Yeah, 4-1. I went back and looked, and they averaged like 25 points a game. DeShaun Watson did not play great. There's a reason he got pulled out of that Colts game after 5 pass attempts, because he stunk.
Couldn't get it done.
Look, this is a team that went to the playoffs with 3 bad quarterbacks behind him. And I'm frankly done talking about DeShaun Watson until DeShaun Watson proves to the rest of the world that he's the quarterback we saw in his prime,
He's not.
4 years ago now
not
in
there.
Houston. Because he's getting paid like it.
Yep.
And I never begrudge a guy getting paid. Good for him. Shame on Cleveland for doing that deal, which reset the entire quarterback market for absolutely no reason. But we keep talking about DeShaun Watson like he is somebody. And I'll tell you right now, he's the 4th best quarterback in a 4-team division. Because you've got Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. He's better than DeShaun Watson. You've got Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. He's better than DeShaun Watson. And, of course, you have the MVP Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. He's better than DeShaun Watson. Sure. The one thing they all have in common, they all get hurt. Every one of them. For the best division of football, where any one of those teams could make the run this year, I believe that. You believe that. I believe you believe that.
Nope.
Outside of your distaste for Russell Wilson, they're all good. Maybe not DeShaun. They all get hurt.
It's a black and blue division.
They all get hurt. Can't say healthy.
Really not. What I'm saying is, listen, DeShaun Watson's only won 12 games in two seasons, right?
Yeah.
With that said, man, what scares me about DeShaun Watson, I don't think he realizes the Cleveland Browns haven't won a division title. They have 0. It's always gone between Pittsburgh and Baltimore and Sydney. Since Kevin Stefanski has been the head coach, they have not won a division. So right now, there's pressure on him, to your point, Craig. Where's the Houston quarterback that we brought? Where's the guy who we pretty much – threw all our morals out the window and say, listen, come here, we're going to revamp you, you're going to take Cleveland to a Super Bowl, you're going to be everything we want. Because they have a top-ranked defense. They have a number 1 ranked defense. They need somebody that can deliver at the quarterback.
And they don't even need him to do that much. Now, they got him another wide receiver. You, of course, have a good running game coming back. Best defense, arguably, in the entire league. But at some point, I think if I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, I'm allowed to raise my hand and say, when do we get to see DeShaun Watson as our quarterback? Because
250
and here's why. Because my general manager built a badass defense and has brought weapons in to support the great DeShaun Watson. DeShaun Watson hasn't gotten the job done. And that's why you add Kevin Stefanski's name to the list of coaches on thin ice. That is a hot seat big time because if they get off to like a 2-4, 2-5 kind of start, If I'm a Browns fan, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Bring him in. Who's next?
Well, they got it.
Who's next? They tell me you have a fourth and football, Jacoby.
We're going for it. A fourth and football.
Here goes our guy, Craig, Justin Fields.
Craig.
Oh, Jesus.
We're talking about the starting quarterback of the Steelers.
Hold on, Craig.
They're saying that Russell Wilson looks to be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Vegas.
The odds are that he will be the starting quarterback.
I'm Vegas. I'm telling you.
Is there a quarterback competition?
No, there ain't no quarterback competition. And frankly, that's
He's in pole position.
By the way, that's a good price because that should be minus 17,000. That he'll be the starting quarterback. These are one of those days that, if I start, the pimp walk, y'all just got to deal with it. You know what I've been trying to do? I can't do the sea walk. What's the thing? The video.
I don't think you should.
Walk. Yeah,
what's it called?
Yeah, I don't think you should do the crip walk.
I'm trying to do the crip. I can't get the damn thing.
Don't do it.
I'm kind of like this, and I'm like this,
Don't,
like that.
Your knees look stuck together. You got to move your feet.
Look, obviously Russell Wilson is the starting quarterback
For now.
some type of
Pole position.
terrible injury.
For now.
Listen, knowing how often Burrow gets hurt, and of course Lamar had a great season where he was injury-free really this past year, and we know Deshaun's we just talked about it. Like, I would not be surprised if Russell Wilson starts more games than any other quarterback in that division.
That's fair. Yeah, I give you that.
That's possible,
That's
right? He don't get hurt, really.
No, he's pretty durable.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. This weird thing that you guys and other people of your ilk have with Justin Fields fascinates me.
He's a young stud.
And here's why. He's
athletic.
He's 3 years in. You're no longer a young stud.
How?
You're young.
He's only 24, 25 years old.
You're a young disappointment now. You're no longer a young stud.
Why are you so hard on Justin Fields?
Because he stinks.
That's not true.
Like, here's the thing. Like,
you guys know the man's rap sheet.
You guys know what you saw. Your eyes don't lie to you. And I'm trying to figure out why you verbalize something that's completely against what you've seen. It's like you need therapy.
I seen
both of you.
Did we not all watch him get better at the end of the year and look like a competent quarterback at the end of the year?
It's crazy.
Did you send us to therapy?
Crazy.
What do you need to see?
The guy's never thrown for more than 2,500 yards. Like, what have you seen that makes you think he's a stud? I'm waiting. I'll wait.
Wait till you
I'll wait.
You run, you throw. There's nothing he can't do on the football field.
Well, then the three of us, define stud a lot differently. Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.